What happens when the quest for victory pushes teams beyond the limits of fair play? What if the secrets of a rival's success were stolen and used to gain an edge? In Formula One's high-stakes world, one scandal shook the sport to its core, costing millions and rewriting history. Let's uncover Spygate. It all began in 2007, a season that had all the ingredients for greatness. McLaren, one of the most storied teams in F1, was in a fierce battle with their eternal rivals, Ferrari. The stakes had never been higher. With a driver lineup boasting two-time world champion Fernando Alonso and the fresh-faced prodigy Lewis Hamilton, McLaren seemed poised to dominate. Alonso was expected to lead the charge with his experience, while Hamilton, in his debut season, was already turning heads with his incredible pace. Together, they were supposed to be McLaren's dream team. But dreams can sometimes turn into nightmares. Behind the scenes, tension brewed between the drivers, their fierce rivalry threatening to tear the team apart. The competition wasn't just on the track. It spilled into the garage, creating a volatile atmosphere. Meanwhile, a sinister twist was taking shape, one that would drag McLaren into the scandal of the century. As ambition clashed with ethics, the sport teetered on the edge of chaos. What unfolded next would forever change Formula One. Behind the scenes, a different kind of race was unfolding, a race driven not by speed, but by secrets. Nigel Stepney, a name that once symbolized Ferrari's golden era during Michael Schumacher's reign, became the unlikely protagonist of this story. Stepney had spent 14 years at Ferrari, helping them achieve unprecedented success. However, by 2007, he was frustrated. Ferrari had reassigned him to a less influential role following a reshuffle of their leadership team. Disillusioned and bitter, Stepney made a decision that would change the course of F1 history forever. He felt sidelined after playing a key role in building one of the sport's most dominant teams. His resentment grew as promises of career advancement went unfulfilled, and he became increasingly disillusioned with Ferrari's new direction. In secret, Stepney began harboring thoughts of retribution. He saw an opportunity to exploit his access to sensitive Ferrari information. What began as dissatisfaction turned into an act of betrayal that no one could have predicted. Stepney's next move would ignite one of the most infamous scandals in motorsport history, dragging Ferrari and McLaren into a storm of controversy. How could someone who had been instrumental in creating success for Ferrari decide to betray the very team he helped build? Stepney stole 780 pages of confidential Ferrari documents. These weren't just routine files. They contained everything from technical blueprints and engineering schematics to strategic race data for Ferrari's 2007 car. Stepney's actions were nothing short of industrial espionage, a blatant violation of trust and integrity. But what he did next shocked everyone even more. He passed these sensitive documents to Mike Coughlin, McLaren's chief designer. What followed was a conspiracy so audacious it seemed straight out of a Hollywood thriller. Coughlin didn't just receive the documents, he began analyzing them meticulously, seeking ways to integrate Ferrari's secrets into McLaren's designs. The documents included crucial insights into aerodynamics and engine performance, potentially giving McLaren an unfair advantage. To cover their tracks, the pair decided to keep the operation under wraps, operating in secrecy. However, their plan was about to unravel in the most unexpected way. A seemingly innocent trip to a photocopy shop would blow the lid off their covert activities. What began as an act of espionage would soon turn into the sport's biggest scandal. Coughlin, now in possession of the stolen data, decided to make copies. His wife, Trudy, was tasked with taking the documents to a local photocopy shop. But fate intervened in the form of a sharp-eyed shop clerk. A Ferrari fan, the clerk couldn't ignore the distinctive prancing horse logo on the papers. Sensing something was amiss, he reported the incident to Ferrari, setting off a chain reaction that would unravel the entire plot. Ferrari immediately launched an internal investigation, piecing together the trail of stolen documents and uncovering the betrayal within their ranks. The evidence led them straight to Nigel Stepney and raised serious questions about who else was involved. Soon, whispers of industrial espionage reached the FIA, and what began as a discreet matter quickly escalated into an international scandal. How could a trusted team member orchestrate such a shocking breach, and how far would the fallout reach? Ferrari launched an internal investigation and quickly realized the gravity of the situation. The matter was escalated to the FIA, Formula One's governing body, and the Spygate scandal exploded into public view. What followed was a spectacle of accusations, counter-accusations, and dramatic hearings. The FIA uncovered undeniable evidence that McLaren had received and used the stolen Ferrari data. The punishment was swift and severe. McLaren was fined an eye-watering $100 million, the largest fine in sports history, and excluded from the 2007 Constructors' Championship. The penalty sent shockwaves through the paddock, serving as a stark warning to all teams about the consequences of unethical behavior. McLaren's reputation, painstakingly built over decades of racing excellence, was left in tatters. Ferrari emerged as the moral victor, but even their achievements were overshadowed by the scandal. The events dominated headlines and fueled intense debate among fans, dividing opinions on whether the punishment fit the crime. Was this the harsh justice Formula One needed to protect its integrity, or had the FIA overstepped its bounds? The fallout didn't stop there. Spygate exposed deep fractures within McLaren, particularly between their two-star drivers. Alonso, who had joined McLaren expecting to be their undisputed #1 driver, found himself overshadowed by Hamilton's meteoric rise. The rivalry between the two drivers became toxic, spilling over into the public domain. Alonso, feeling sidelined and betrayed, allegedly threatened to expose incriminating emails linking McLaren to the stolen Ferrari data. These emails, exchanged between McLaren's test driver Pedro de la Rosa and Mike Coughlin, became a key piece of evidence in the FIA's investigation. The tension within the team reached a boiling point, with both drivers openly clashing during races and in the media. What was supposed to be McLaren's dream season turned into a nightmare of internal conflict and public scrutiny. The drama didn't just impact the team, it became a defining moment in Formula One history. The tension between Alonso and Hamilton reached a boiling point during the 2007 season. At the Hungarian Grand Prix, their rivalry took a dramatic turn. Alonso deliberately held up Hamilton in the pit lane during qualifying, costing the team valuable time and creating an embarrassing public spectacle. The incident highlighted the extent to which internal conflicts were tearing McLaren apart. For team principal Ron Dennis, managing the fallout from Spygate while trying to keep his drivers in check became an impossible task. The championship battle that year was nothing short of extraordinary. Despite the off-track drama, McLaren's drivers continued to deliver stellar performances. Hamilton and Alonso were neck and neck in the standings, with Ferrari's Kimi Räikkönen also in the mix. The season finale in Brazil was one of the most thrilling in F1 history. Räikkönen clinched the title by a single point, leaving both Hamilton and Alonso to wonder what might have been if the team dynamics had been different. Could McLaren have secured both the drivers' and constructors' championships if not for the turmoil that consumed their season? The consequences of Spygate were far-reaching. Ron Dennis, a towering figure in F1, stepped down from his role as McLaren's team principal in the aftermath of the scandal. Nigel Stepney faced legal action and was sentenced to prison for his role in the affair. Tragically, his life ended in 2014 under mysterious circumstances, leaving many questions unanswered. Did the weight of Spygate haunt him to the end, or were there other factors at play? For McLaren, the scandal marked the beginning of a challenging period. While they managed to retain their driver lineup and compete in subsequent seasons, the damage to their reputation was immense. Sponsors were wary, and the team struggled to regain its former glory. Even their relationship with Mercedes, their engine supplier at the time, was strained. Eventually, Mercedes parted ways with McLaren and formed their own team, going on to dominate the sport in the years that followed. Spygate wasn't just about one team or one season, it was a pivotal moment that redefined the boundaries of competition in F1. It forced the FIA to tighten regulations and introduce measures to protect intellectual property. Teams became more cautious, knowing that the consequences of crossing the line could be catastrophic. But perhaps the most enduring legacy of Spygate is the questions it raised about the nature of rivalry in F1. How far are teams willing to go in their pursuit of victory? What happens when ambition and ethics collide? And most importantly, can the integrity of the sport survive when the lines between fair competition and foul play are blurred? Even today, Spygate serves as a cautionary tale. It's a story of ambition gone awry, of trust betrayed, and of the staggering costs, both financial and reputational, of crossing the line. For fans, it's a reminder that while the races on the track are thrilling, the drama behind the scenes can be just as compelling. If this deep dive into Spygate intrigued you, there's much more to uncover in the world of F1. Be sure to check out the channel for more stories of legendary moments, controversies, and rivalries that have shaped the sport. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for all the latest updates and insights into the world of Formula One.